Honey is the only food source that contains pinocembrin, an antioxidant compound associated with improving brain function. Since childhood, we have been advised to consume honey because of its various health benefits. Honey has been used for a long time by humans from various ancient civilizations, such as Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, the Aztecs, the Mediterranean to today's modern civilization. Recent discoveries in Turkey show that humans have been using honeybees for at least 9,000 years. Honey is often believed to be useful as a medicine that can cure almost any disease, from sore throats and digestive ailments to skin problems and insomnia. The natural sugars found in honey, fructose and glucose, are absorbed by the body more quickly. This is the reason why athletes and sportspeople use honey to give them a natural energy boost. Honey is a miracle food that contains almost all the essential healthy nutrients, namely carbohydrates, protein, water, as well as enzymes, organic acids, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. Honey does not contain fat, so it is suitable for a healthy diet. The honey diet has been known to effectively lose weight within 2 weeks. You also know that bees are small insects that help pollinate flowers and make honey from them together with the colony. As a colony, the bee community consists of a queen bee, male bees, worker bees and caretakers. The queen bee is only focused on her task of incubating bee eggs. Male bees only focus on reproducing with the queen bee, after which they die. Worker bees only focus on working to produce honey. Caretaker bees will only meet the needs of the queen, ensure the larvae of the future queen, feed all the bee larvae, and ensure the hive remains hygienic. The following in fact summarizes 5 unique facts about bees. 5 unique facts of bees. Those of us who have only enjoyed honey may not know the following unique facts about bees. Number 1. Worker bees live most of the time just to produce honey. A worker bee can live only about 5 weeks in the summer and about 20 weeks in the winter. These worker bees are all female. Most of his life he only worked to collect flower pollen and nectar to make honey. Bees are equipped with sophisticated equipment to do their job. According to National Geography, bees can fly as far as 25 kilometers per hour and 200 flaps of wings per second. In addition, a bee has 170 odor receptors that can find the best food sources to produce honey. Through wing flaps, flight speed and sophisticated odor receptors, bees can do their job to produce honey. Number 2. A worker bee's whole life can only make 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey. As part of the colony, the queen bee produces about 1,500 to 2,500 bee eggs per day for the survival of the colony. The queen bee gives birth to bee eggs that serve in a colony. Worker bees are tasked with collecting flower pollen and nectar and producing honey by working together. National Geographic Kids informs that these worker bees can communicate by dancing. Their dance will show a map of food sources to their fellow worker bees when they arrive at the hive. Throughout the lifespan of a worker bee that seeks pollen and nectar to produce this honey, a bee can only produce 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey. Thus, 1/12 teaspoon of honey is produced in about 5 weeks or more by a bee. Imagine a teaspoon of honey that we consume is made by about 12 worker bees that go back and forth between hives and food sources, processing it into honey for more than 5 weeks. A teaspoon of honey can even nourish our bodies for the whole day. Number 3. The small contribution to the colony, not to the worker bee itself. During the summer, bees work to and fro for pollen and nectar, storing and producing 2 to 3 times more honey than they need to eat. The hard work of bees in collecting flower pollen with other bees is carried out for the colony's food needs, producing royal jelly honey and colony food reserves during the winter. In winter, the male bees are even removed from the hive so that a colony can survive. Number 4. The current work of bees can be felt by the next generation of bees, for the survival of the colony. Apart from being a food supply in winter, these worker bees even produce honey which they can pass on to their next generation. Honey produced from flower pollen and nectar is sorted and stored, not consumed entirely. If the queen bee dies, the larvae of the prospective queen bee will be selected to be fed a special honey diet, royal jelly. Royal jelly, a special food for the queen bee, is produced from the best flower pollen obtained by worker bees, so that the prospective queen bee can grow to be like a queen and give birth to the next generation of bees. The queen bee can live up to 5 years and is the only bee that lays eggs. It is he who is busiest in the summer months, when the nest needs maximum strength, and can lay up to 2,500 eggs per day. During winter, honey bees eat their honey collected during the warmer months. They form a tight cluster within their nest to keep the queen and themselves warm. Number 5. Neonicotinoid chemical compounds, disturbing worker bees and survival of bee colonies. It has been more than 15 years since the life of the bee colony has experienced a very drastic decline. Research has been conducted to find out what causes colony collapse disorder, CCD, in bees. CCD is a phenomenon of bee colonies in the world which has experienced a drastic decline. KeepingBackyardBees.com notes the Soil Association's statement that neonicotinoid have an effect on CCD. Neonicotinoid work like insecticides by blocking specific neural pathways in the central nervous system of insects. The chemical neonicotinoids impair the bee's communication, foraging and return to nest abilities, flight activity, the ability to distinguish substances from their olfactory learning and immune systems, and even the bee's overall ability to survive. These neonicotinoid are derived from the habit-forming substance, nicotine. Bees are exposed to the substance as humans are exposed to cigarettes or other nicotine products. The bees become confused and disoriented when the chemical nicotinoids enter the bee's nervous system. Contamination of neonicotinoid-containing pesticides is also present from industry and agricultural land, carried by worker bees which carry pollen from flowers to their hives and infect the larvae and queen bees. The total number of bee colonies decreased from 5 million in 1940 to only about 2.5 million, USDA. Those were 5 unique facts about bees. What do you think? Are there any other facts? Please write in the comments. Thank you and goodbye.